provisions that are going to be a real problem for people that people aren't generally aware of. This is going to lead to just huge. It used to be that you got your medical, at least your initial medical expenses, the $10,000. Now that goes away pretty quickly, obviously, if you go to the emergency room. We all know that, but at least you could rely on that, and that gets paid. Basically no questions asked. Now, in addition to the time frame requirements, the insurance company can do a couple of other things. They can schedule you for an examination under oath and challenge you in terms of the injury and whether you're really injured, and you've got to submit to that examination. And they can schedule you for what's called a compulsory medical examination with a doctor of their own choosing, and so that doctor can examine you, paid for by the insurance company, and opine whether or not you in fact have suffered an injury severe enough to qualify for the maximum PIP coverage, $10,000. Well, what do you think is going to happen here? I mean, what do you think is going to happen? The insurance companies will take advantage of this situation. They will contest, they'll sit on their money. Every time. They're going to contest your claim. They're going to require you to come in for an examination under oath. They're going to schedule you for an examination with one of their hand-picked physicians. And guess what? Shockingly, that physician is going to find 99 times out of 100 that you're not hurt. And so now you've got your emergency, you've got your doctor saying yes he is, yes she is, their doctor saying no he isn't, and in the meantime your medical bills aren't getting paid. And so now not only do you have a potential fight in terms of the liability coverage on the person that caused your injury, now you're fighting with your own insurance company right out of the box to get the $10,000 that you've already paid for. It's, in my judgment, it's going to be a disaster. And this legislation was passed in response to what was happening in Fort Lauderdale and Miami and these pain mills down there. And yes, there were huge problems. So as usual, we've taken the baby and thrown it out with the bathwater, and now we're all going to suffer. We're going to pay the price. And I can just see this. It hasn't started yet because we're just in the new year, but I can tell you what's going to happen. We deal with these compulsory medical examinations all the time. When I represent people that are injured, they bring a claim against the at-fault party and their insurance company. Well, that insurance company is entitled to have you examined as well because you put your medical condition in issue. And that's been the law for many, many years. And so they send you for a, quote, compulsory medical examination by one of their hand-picked physicians. We see the same doctors time and time and time again. They say the same thing time and time and time again. You're not permanently injured, you're not permanently injured, you're not permanently injured. Now the standard here is going to be a little different for PIP. It's going to be you're not seriously injured, you're not seriously injured. They know who butters their bread, and they're paid to render that opinion.
Should the court have doctors representing them?
Well, no, but that's a great question. A really truly independent physician. Yeah. That's a great question.
Because you're gonna get the same thing as we got year after year, denied.
But we don't have the courts don't have the resources nor the authority to have a bevy of doctors involved. But what's going to happen, of course, is you're going to be having a fight with your insurance company. Where's that going to end up? In court, right? And that's no fun for the injured plaintiff, because now you're fighting a battle on two fronts, for your PIP coverage as well as for the injuries that you've allegedly suffered in the accident. The courts are going to be when the full effect of this becomes apparent, the courts are going to be fit to be tied, because it'll be like the foreclosure crisis. They're going to have to have judges to just resolve these PIP disputes, and it's a real problem. Theoretically, the insurance companies, the quid pro quo, if there is one, is that theoretically the insurance companies have to lower their rates for PIP by 25%, but they can apply for exemptions and exceptions, and they will. And 25, there's not even close to a dollar-for-dollar trade-off. You may see a couple $1 a year savings on your PIP coverage, but God help you if you get involved in an accident, because they're going to fight you for the $10,000 you pay for. Now, there will be legal challenges to this legislation. There already are. Numerous legal challenges saying that, look, something's been taken away and you're not really being given anything. It's a violation of due process. I'm hopeful that as this winds its way through the courts, that our appellate courts will look at this and say, wait a minute, you bought it, you paid for it, you're entitled to your PIP coverage, but who knows? And in the meantime, if you get involved in an automobile accident, you're going to come see me, or Jay, or members of our firm. Do it within 14 days so we can tell you what you need to do to protect yourself. Going forward. I got to tell you.
Get that medical exam.
Jay, we were talking about this compulsory medical examination that these insurance companies pay for. Jay took a deposition in a case just a couple of weeks ago of a doctor. I won't name the doctor. We see him all the time. He's hired by multiple insurance companies. And in this deposition, the doctor admitted that he always says, in these soft tissue cases, no broken bones, always says that there's no permanent injury. Always. No matter what the circumstances are, and Jay got him to acknowledge that, well, isn't it true that in 5% of these cases or 10% of these cases that ultimately you get it wrong and there has been a permanent injury, and that if you were actually treating this patient as opposed to being paid for the insurance company, you continue to provide medical treatment? He said, and he agreed. He said, yes, that's true. So basically, he's acknowledged that if you're one of the 5 or 10% that he gets wrong, tough luck. Exactly.
We're going to take a break. Tony's got sports up next.